Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com. Decided to do a little video today on the indicator, which is known as the rate of change. We're going to talk about the rate of change. Going to hopefully share some little observations that may, maybe help someone that maybe hasn't really noted these before. First thing I'm going to do is, often when I'm talking about this stuff, I hope to be able to do a little trade, a little demo trade, and show an example of what I'm talking about inside of the trade. So we're going to get into a call here. Just gonna go ahead and get in there. Could be better. But I really want to talk about what we're looking for. Want to get some examples, of course. Here we are. We've got. I'm on a Markets World platform. Great platform to research some ideas and do some demo trading, simulated trades, whatever you want to call it. And so that's why we're here. I want to give you some little tips, but what I need to do for just a second is to pause this video right here. Be right back. Okay dokie guys, I'm back. Got this little demo trade on here, and now I want to talk about the logic. Okay, it's been a few minutes since we put this trade on. Had a little undulation in the market. It was a call. You can see we got in here at 1172, 720. Let's call it 11720, and got in looking to expire at the half hour. It's a call. We got a little ascension sorry here to the upside. Trades going in our favor so far. Got about 11 minutes left in this trade. Now I want to look at the logic behind this trade and what we're trading with, how we're using the rate of change along with some of the usual suspects. So let's go over here to this chart and let's talk about what actually broke us into this trade. Now let me grab something up here very quickly. Okay, this is where we got in at on this candle here. Okay, now these are 15-minute candles. There's not the reason I was on that line chart earlier, several reasons I was using that line chart earlier. One of the reasons is it's not as easy to see the little intricate price action over on a on this 15-minute chart. So obviously we've got to go off of our line chart. It's always a good idea. You want to make your entry in the number that you enter. In my opinion, best place to do that is on the broker. Let me touch on something just a second before we talk about the logic and how we're using the rate of change here. Okay, over here, firstly, I'm on the Markets World platform, but there's similar You do similar stuff, regardless. You know, with the little charts that are provided on whatever broker platform that you're using. Zooming in and zooming out a chart, in most cases, that's what it's going to be. And over here, you just moving around from the little. Okay, I got a little chart here, a little bigger, a 30-minute, 1 hour chart, a couple hours on this chart. Okay, if I'm finna make a bet that's gonna expire at the half hour, essentially like a 30-minute bet, well, at least have my chart. If I'm over here on Markets World or wherever, want to have that much data, or preferably more data on my chart. So that's why I've got my chart here set to 1 hour. Now by default on Markets World it's different. It varies from broker to broker, of course, but by default you're going to be looking at a 5-minute chart. Look at this. Okay, on a 5-minute chart, really looks like, man, we're about the lowest we've ever been in the whole world. Okay, on a 1 hour chart, if you were to draw support, it would probably have been somewhere around here. 5-minute chart, you know, looks like we're a lot closer to support. That's what I'm getting at. And at the end of the day, it's mind over matter. It doesn't matter what you believe in your mind. The only thing that matters is the broker's numbers. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're trading conventionally. I don't care if you're trading on some of these EU-based brokers, whatever. Wherever you are, you're trading off of the feed that's provided by the platform. So, therefore, I'm looking at being on a longer term chart. That's just a real simple tip. Lots of people looking for support and resistance. Look for it. If you're going to do a minute trade, maybe 5 minutes is relevant to you. You know, my sentiments about 60-second trading. We're not going to get on that bandwagon now. This is about the rate of change. So I'm going to not get on that tangent. If you're in a trade and you're trying to be in this trade for like 30 minutes, hey, you're going to want to get on a 30-minute chart to an hour chart. How are you going to see some idea of where recent support and resistance is on your broker's data feed without having a chart at least is long or the same size as the type of bet trade, however you want to look at it, that you're fencing to get into. And that's my little nugget that I'm going to share right here. Now let's look at the chart and let's talk about the logic, why we done what we done, and what we were really using with our rate of change. Okay, back over here on this chart, usual suspects here. We have slope direction turning blue, heiken ashi, it's been blue for some time. We saw heiken ashi here turning red. We got a big moving average up here. Big moving average. This is 144. This yellow MA is 8. This kind of blue, light blue, this is 15 MA. And we saw heiken ashi turning red here. Now, I'm working off of the theory that two things. One, I got all of these heiken ashi. Now, right now, all of these heiken ashi are red. Prior to this, one of these not this heiken ashi, but this candle, this representation of the 1 hour candle here, that was blue. Now, it's dynamic. Of course, it's going to change. The market's not going to just sit there and let you beat it up. You're going to have to work to beat it up. You're going to have to use your noggin. So it was blue. So, you know, if all of these are votes, it was down. on the 1 hour heiken ashi, down on the 4 hour heiken ashi, down on the 1 day heiken ashi, up on the actual real time hourly candle, down the 4 hour, down on the day candle. So what on earth would make me, in the midst of all of that downtrend, decide to take a trade? Well, I wanted to do a demo trade for the video, one thing, and two, I wanted to talk about rate of change. Rate of change is just like it sounds. It's the rate of change in whatever pair or whatever instrument you are profiling. Now, so what I was doing is I looked, and at the time I maybe should have had this on split screen or something, but at the time I was seeing a little slowdown in the rate of change, and that's telling me there's a little softness in the trend there. And if I'm saying, okay, well, we've got a little uptrend here going on with our slope direction, I want to find a little softness, and maybe I can get in for a quick pop, maybe. This isn't just a wonderful setup. This is hey, here's a guy trying to do a demo trade to go along with a video. You want the stronger setup. How many volts do we have here? Way more volts to the downside. So I should have been looking for a slowdown in the rate of change to the downside. It's huge 144 moving average here. We're trading below it. We're also trading, at the time even, we were trading below both the 8 and the 15 moving average. Only real thing we had on our side was this little ascension here with the slope direction, and we did have a little blue candle up there. But I'm trying to get in and out really quick, and I saw that the movement to the downside was starting to slow down. Another thing I saw some a movement here to our support line, which is that's our 11,720, and we got in right around that number on the broker, where we saw that this was a good area of support. So as we are approaching support or approaching resistance, the trend is getting weaker with the rate of change, and at the same time we are hitting an area of support. So got that trend getting weaker here on the ROC, that rate of change. We obviously are trending down, so that trend is specified as getting weaker by looking at this rate of change like a speedometer in your vehicle. How fast are you going? How fast is the market moving? And that's all this is gonna. There are two sides to this coin here, and we're gonna look at these two sides like this. There's a trend, and you're going to get your trend the same way we've always been getting our trend. We're just putting some things together using some of the tools that you found here on our channel now for like ages. Moving averages, we're using the theory of the slope direction, the heiken ashi. All of these things are measuring. They are measures of a moving average and the strength of that, the direction of the average price. Now, once we've got the direction of the average price, another question is how strong is that trend? How strong is that direction? And what we want to do then is we want to measure that strength by the acceleration. Sometimes you'll hear people who have a lot of formal training with options, or stocks, they'll mention the Greeks, and they'll mention beta. that's all this is. This is the speed of the rate of change in comparison to the average. In this case, in comparison to the average rate of change. I've got different settings over here. This is a slope direction that's set to 80. We've already covered this is 8 on the yellow, 15 here, 144 there. If the rate of change is slowing down here on our downside, then we're hoping that that car will slow down, because before, you're not going to stop when you press your brake instantly, are you? So first thing that has to happen is deceleration. So therefore, we're looking for that deceleration, that change in beta, and we're then hoping to, on a longer term, get that reversal. If a ball gets thrown up in the air, what's the first thing that happens? That deceleration of that ball, and then that ball begins to fall. That's all the rate of change is about. Lots of ways to use it. We just put it together there in a little way. Like I said, I like to be on the side of the dominant trend, and right here, dominant trend is down. I'm just trying to see if I could pop one really quick for a demo for you guys. Also, another thing that's really great, if you're trading momentum, what do you really want? A better thing is to take that mirror and actually be above this zero line. In other words, to see an acceleration in that rate of change. That means that the strength of the trend, which is 1/2 of our little picture in our head, is getting stronger, while at the same time we're using our chart, our moving averages, our heiken ashi, to give us the direction to navigate us along on this trend. Now that's when you're probably going to have, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I just think it's easier, rather than looking for reversals, regardless of this bet works for me or it doesn't, it's probably easier for most people to find that strength, find that strong trend, get in while that trend is strong, and rather than trying to be Muhammad Ali and predict, I'm going to knock this guy out in this round at this particular instance, you're only saying, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to put up one hell of a fight. It's very a lot easier for most people, in my opinion. So that's really all I had to share for today. We're talking about rate of change and looking at what it is, how we're using it. Oh, let's go over here and see what the result of our little demo bet was. We got away with it there. There's our win for our little bet. So it's just an idea, putting it all together. I'm gonna probably try and do more videos this year talking about the different indicators. This video was about rate of change. You've heard me mention the rate of change a lot in some of those ESP room videos from the last year, and this year I'm going to try and talk a lot more about the logic in putting it all together, what some of these jargon terms mean, and how to use them, because we can all get comfortable knowing a lot of technical terms, but that's not really what's important. In my opinion, what's more important is just figuring out how to put all of these things together and get a harmony going, and actually be able to produce some type of song that's good to hear. Until next time, I will see you guys on the next video. Once again, this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com.